Meeting will now come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening and Happy New Year to our honorable city council members, to the mayor, to our city treasurer and our city clerk in their absence, to the administrative staff here in the council chambers, to the audience here in the council chambers and those viewing via our broadcast channel and YouTube Live. Welcome to the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting. Today is Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. Members of the public wishing to participate in this meeting may do so under the public comment portion of the agenda. Please fill out a request to speak public comment card located on the table in the back of the chambers and hand it to me, the deputy clerk. At this time, we will have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo. Here. Councilman Barden.
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe.
Here.
Councilwoman Talley.
Here.
Councilman Wadsworth.
Here.
And Councilwoman Williams.
Here.
Mr. Chair, there's a quorum for tonight's meeting.
Thank you.
Tonight's regular agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda. Number 2, minutes. 3, petitioner. 4, chairperson's report. 5, mayor's report. 6, clerk's report. 7, treasurer's report. 8, public comment. Number 9 is unfinished business. 10 is new business. 11, warrant. 12, communication. And number 13 is adjournment. And a motion will be in order to accept tonight's regular meeting agenda as presented.
So moved to accept the agenda as presented.
Support.
The motion by Ms. Talley, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for approval of the agenda as presented. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo? Yes. Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you, City Council. Agenda item 2A for approval are the minutes from the regular meeting held on Monday, December the 11th, 2023 at 7:30 p.m.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting held on Monday, December 11th, 2023.
I second that motion.
The motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of the minutes from our regular meeting was on December the 11th at 7:30 p.m. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Abstain.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you, City Council. Agenda item 2B for approval are the minutes from the special meeting executive session held on Monday, December the 11th, 2023 at 6:15 p.m. to discuss union negotiations, and the special meeting public hearings held on Monday, December the 11th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. to discuss an alley vacation in the Detroit Industrial Center subdivision, and at 7 p.m. to discuss an alley vacation in the Osberg Airport Estates subdivision.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to approve minutes from the special meeting executive session held on Monday, December 11th, 2023 at 6:15 p.m. to discuss union negotiations, and the special meeting public hearings held on Monday, December 11th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. to discuss an alley vacation in the Detroit Industrial Center subdivision, and at 7 p.m. to discuss an alley vacation in the Osberg Airport Estates subdivision.
I second that motion.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of the minutes from our special meetings. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Abstain.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. Due to a lack of quorum, there are no minutes from the regular meeting held on Tuesday, December 26, 2023 at 7:30 p.m. Number 3 is the petitioner, and there are no petitioners under tonight's regular meeting agenda. That brings us to number 4, the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk. Tonight we had no special meetings. I'd like to iterate that I know we have a vacancy at council. We're going to have a study session January 8th to discuss the procedures, how to fill that position on January 8th. At this time, that concludes the chairperson's
John?
report. Mr. Wadsworth?
If I could just say something under your report, and I didn't make this last meeting, but I want to talk about Eva Webb for a couple seconds. You know, I first met her back in 1972, as she worked here. Of course, I worked here also, but she was a friend of mine. She was a good, decent person, and may she rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth. Ms. Williams?
Yes, Ms. Webb have left a really deep void, not only just in the council, but in the city as a whole. She'll be greatly missed. I would like to say to the mayor and all the supporters that helped make a Christmas so much brighter for over 300 families. We gave dinners, the complete meal. And so I would like to just say thank you to all the supporters, the mayor, the police department, the fire department that delivered a lot of the items that were in the box. Thank you so much for always making sure that our residents are taken care of. Thank you.
Any other, mayor?
Thank you to the chair, also in recognition of the service, Councilwoman Webb, for the city of Romulus. I've known Eva for a number of years, and she's served the city for years at multiple levels, and you can never deny her heart to be a servant of this community. She didn't always agree with what we were doing, but she made sure she told you, and that's what we expect out of our elected officials in this city, and not to be a yes person all the time. So she was a true advocate for the city, a true passion for this community, and a great friend and a coworker, and a staunch supporter. So just want to acknowledge it, and she will be sorely missed. The city takes a hit losing leadership like Mrs. Webb, so thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Williams?
Chairman, I know you mentioned, and I spoke with you earlier pertaining to a special meeting, and that will be set before the council meeting?
Yes.
You know, my concern is that what's the purpose of a special meeting? I mean, it's plain as day. I mean, the charter clearly says that we, the council, has to fill that seat within 45 days. I know it haven't been 45 days, but I don't totally agree that we would have to wait a full week to discuss, because I'm not for sure if everyone is aware, but on several occasions, the conversation was talked about, and mayor had nothing to do with it, chief of staff, nor the city attorney, so let me make that clear, about how to go about dealing with the fact that Councilwoman Webb was missing so much time. What we should have been doing, and we have to, as people in general, not just the council, start being more proactive instead of reactive. This situation is more of a reactive type situation, and to make everyone wait until another week, I don't think that's fair. We all have a vote, we all have a decision, and as I've said to several of my council members, other than Councilwoman Talley, I haven't spoke with her, I would think that it would be fair. We talk about voting all the time, the fairness of voting, the democracy of voting, and I just think since the election was not long ago, and because of the charter is so antiquated, and this is something that we should blame ourselves because we are not paying attention to the different things that's in the charter that need to be updated. Now, we have one thing on the charter coming up this year to change the meetings from 3 to 2. But there's so many other important things in that charter that need to be changed. And I think this right here should set precedent in how we handle this. We were voted just like the other members that ran for office. They were voted by the people. And I think to I mean, it's up to the council to wait till next week, but I don't think we should have to wait till next week to make a decision on something that we knew or kind of imagined that was coming this way. So I just wanted to respond on what you said, John, about having a study session next week pertaining to what the council would do. We were voted, it shouldn't take that much of a hard decision to make a decision. The people voted. I would say my decision is to go with the votes of the people. That's my decision, because when we decide to do something on our own and what we want to do, like pick a random person, now we're taking away the rights of the people. And I think that is totally unfair. So I just wanted to say that behind the chair making a decision to have a meeting next week to make a decision. Thank you.
Okay, I would take your opinion under advisement. We will have the study session next week at January the 8th.
Mr. Chair.
Ms. Roscoe?
Out of due respect for Councilwoman Webb, she was a very good friend of mine. She wasn't just a colleague. We go way, way back. And I would like to ask tonight for a memorial resolution for Eva. She was a pillar in this community. She loved this community, and she did everything right to the bitter end that she could do. And she campaigned hard every single time for everything that she believed in. And I would just like tonight to ask for a moment of silence for Eva and to ask for a memorial resolution.
I support that.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome, thank you. That concludes the chairperson's report.
Can we vote on that resolution?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Williams for a memorial resolution for Councilwoman Webb. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, and motion is approved. Now that concludes the chairperson's report.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to accept your report.
I second that motion.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, and motion is approved. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Thank you. Good evening, City Council. Deputy Clerk, those in the audience today, those at home watching. I'm sorry. Spent all that money on the audio system to make sure we're using it right. Good evening, everybody. Just before I begin the action items for my report, I just want to wish everybody, peace and prosperity for 2024. There's so many things going on in the world right now, in Europe, in the Middle East, and so many conflicts. We have our own elections here this year, and there's so many opportunities where we can come off the rails as a society, but there's only so many opportunities we can do to get it right, too. So be respectful of your fellow man and the people you work with, and get back to the art of agreeing to disagree sometimes to move people forward. So just want to wish everybody peace and prosperity in 2024 and to work harder to keep moving in the right direction. First, an action item I have for my report is the reconditional zoning agreement for North Point. The reason for the request is that there's been some modifications to the agreement in the site, and I have Director Kraus and also members of the North Point team here also to address questions for council, if you have them. Right now, I concur with the recommendation of Kevin Kraus, Director of Community Safety and Development, and Steve Hitchcock, City Attorney, and respectfully request City Council to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached conditional rezoning agreement waiver of condition between the City of Romulus and North Point, Lordstown 173 LLC.
Through the chair,
Yes, Ms. Talley.
I'd like to make that motion to concur with administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached conditional rezoning agreement waiver of condition between the City of Romulus and North Point, Lordstown 173 LLC.
I support, and I have a question.
It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for North Point conditional rezoning agreement. Mr. Wadsworth.
If I could, to through the mayor, Kevin, what is the reason that they want this and what's being changed? It doesn't really get
Good evening,
specific.
Council Mayor. Basically, to summarize, it is there was four, for phase one of the development, there was four things that they needed to meet. This is the last item, which is a access road that runs from the industrial development through Wick Road. Well, that road is going to be running through all of the retail frontage that comes across Wick Road. And as many of you know, we've been working diligently over the last year and a half with North Point in finding who those retailers are going to be along Wick Road. When they submit a site plan, they submit conceptually where these access roads are going to go, but as we've started to secure some of the retail development, some of those retailers have taken up more space, some of them have taken up less space. So in order to meet the timelines, they would have to put a road in now arbitrarily that may have to be moved later because of the
All right.
retail development.
All right, fine.
So this is waiving that one portion, that one line item, and then once the retail establishments are set and the agreements are made, they'll still continue to put that road in. So the commitment's not going away. We're just asking for them to have a little bit more time. I think we put September, end of August, end of September in there, which will give them an opportunity to solidify all of the retail establishments along with it.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Williams?
And also, I remember when they first came to council, they made a commitment that within, if I'm not mistaken, it was a year's time, that they would have some type of retail or something going on Wick Road. Is that correct?
I believe the original during COVID was a period of time for there to be commitments on those retailers across the front of Wick Road. And then there was a amendment to that we brought in front of council and council approved because of the delay in COVID. And thus far, they've met the time commitments that have been agreed to.
So the money that they promised if they didn't fulfill the original agreement was just amended again?
That was amended months ago, I think it was maybe over a year ago. This has nothing to do with the money portion of it, this has to do with just the road being put in.
So what I'm saying is, because nothing is there right there at Wick and Viney, so the dollar amount that they promised if they hadn't fulfilled the original agreement is going away? That's what I'm asking you.
No, it hasn't gone away, they're still obligated to that. That timeline was, the timeline was pushed forward because of COVID and the delays. I believe it was a 9-month rezoning agreement that we brought to you guys a while back that you guys approved and moved forward. So that hasn't gone away, they're still obligated to that, and they're meeting the obligations.
Okay, I just want to be clear on that. And then also, what made, and I'm not for sure if it was the building department or zoning boards of appeal, but who agreed for North Point to be able to put asphalt sidewalks instead of concrete?
So I believe that was part of the planning commission, and I can't speak on that, it's not my department, so I'm not gonna speak on that. I believe that that's because that portion is again, not my department, but that portion is a bike pathway as opposed to an actual walkway. It's identified as one of the bike pathways and the connectivity for non-motorized connectivity throughout the city, so there's a difference there.
Around, on the outside of the building?
Correct.
Because I stopped and looked at it, and it evidently, if it either wasn't poured during the right timing, because it's not smooth, it's not even, and it's not thick as it would be like a concrete sidewalk. So maybe, you should look into that, or have the building director look into that, because you're talking about those gigantic buildings, and then you got an asphalt sidewalk. To me, I'm sure I didn't support that, because it doesn't look right. It doesn't. So, and I would definitely like to know whether it was planning or who approved it. Did it come before council?
Once, I believe, since that was a special land use and it was an overlay district, once it went through planning commission, it did come in front of you guys for approval.
Yeah, I would like to see those documents. Thank you.
Yep.
Is there any other discussion from council? If not, thank you, Chief. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
No.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next item I have is for reappointments to the Planning Commission. I'm requesting approval to reappoint Adwami Gugubadi, Edna Tala Jamison, Mike Glapfelty, and Jerry Frederick to the Planning Commission with terms to expire January 31st, 2027.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion.
Support.
To concur with administration and approve the reappointments of Mr. Gulabadi, Edna Jamison, Mike Gulabadi, and Jerry Fredericks to the Planning Commission with terms to expire January 31st, 2027.
I second that motion.
At first, I was telling Ms. Williams, she's supportive, but I said, you know, you got to speak louder in the mic so I know. So,
Okay.
it's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Williams, for the Planning Commission reappointment. And when you do these motions, speak louder so everyone can hear in the audience who's seconding it and everything. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. I'd also like to take a moment to thank Mr. Gawadi, Ms. Talon Jamison, Mr. Glapfelty, and Mr. Frederick, too, for serving and taking time out of their schedules to serve on our planning commission. Without these residents who serve on boards and commissions, we couldn't get anything done. So thank you for your service to this community. Next item I have up is reappointments to Tax Increment Finance Authority. So this will be two motions. We're asking for reappointments and also the addition of an additional member to that TIFA board. The reason we're adding the person is because we've had trouble with a quorum as of late, so we want to make sure we have continued progress in that area. So I'm hereby requesting approval to reappoint Matthew Raftery, Michael Hoffman, Emery Long, Don Morris, Dean Trudeau, Susie Francoeur, and Randy Moffett to the Tax Increment Finance Authority Board with terms to expire November 30th, 2027. I am also hereby requesting the appointment of Jonathan Yono to the TIFA Board to fill the current vacancy with a term to expire November
Mayor,
30th, 2027.
Well, first of all, we got to
Do the first.
do the first one first before you go into the second motion.
Okay.
I'll make that motion for the first one, requesting the approval of Matt Raftery, Michael Hoffman, Emery Long, Don Morris, Doe Trudeau, Susie, Franco, and Randy Moffett to the Tax Increment Finance Authority.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Williams, to concur with administration and approve the reappointments of Matthew Rapier, Michael Hoffman, Emery Long, Don Morris, Dean Thurer, Susan Francoeur, and Randy Moffett to the Tax Increment Financial Authority TIFA Board with term to expire November 30th, 2027. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I'm going to move that, I'm going to move that we approve the appointment of Jonathan Yono to the TIFA Board, and his term will expire in November 30th of 2027.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Williams, for concur with administration and approve the reappointment of Jonathan Hugo to the TIFA Board to fill the current vacancy with a term to expire November 30th, 2027. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next item I have for you is a piggyback on a My Deal contract for an additional cold patch hot trailer. This piece of equipment, we already have one of the DPW, but due to its age and the amount of repairs and the condition of roads, we'd like to buy another one. And what it does is allows it to be hot when it's applied. It makes it more pliable and easier and better repaired by our DPW to our roads. So I concur with the recommendation of Roberto Scaptici, Public Works Director, and Gary Harris, Purchasing Director, and respectfully request council's authorization to piggyback on My Deal contract 071B77000092 with Falcon Road Maintenance Equipment LLC for the purchase of one asphalt cold patch trailer in the amount of $26,721.64.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to concur with administration and consent to piggyback on the My Deal contract number 071B770092 with Falcon Road Maintenance Equipment LLC for the purchase of one asphalt cold patch trailer in the amount of $26,721.64.
I second that motion.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, to piggyback on my deal contract number 07B77000092 for an asphalt cold patch hot trailer. Any discussion?
Yeah, through the chair, just.
Yes, Ms. Talley.
This is just for the budget amendment. We're going to come back with the bids and everything, with any additional information for the purchases, I think, for this equipment.
For the cold patch trailer, no. So it was already in the budget for the 23-24 budget. We did have a line item in there. We're just getting to the point of purchasing it. So the piggyback is the state contract.
Okay.
It's already been bid out. We just want to match what that dealer has bid for the state for all of the municipalities and make a purchase.
So you're saying it won't have to come back through council? Okay, thank you.
Are there any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you. The next item we have is a budget amendment, and that's also to replace aging DPW equipment. And it's the 5-ton dump truck that we have for the water main break crew. So I'm hereby requesting an introduction of a budget amendment 2324-11 to purchase a water and sewer dump truck.
Need a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to concur with administration and introduce Budget Amendment 23/24-11 to purchase a water and sewer dump truck.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for introduction of Budget Amendment 23/24-11. Any discussion?
Yeah, through the chair. I'm
Ms.
sorry,
Talley.
this was the one I was referring to. I got them mixed up, my bad. Yeah, so this one will have to come back to council because because this is just a budget amendment, right? I'm sorry, Roberto.
No, that's quite all right. It is a little confusing, but no, the 2 meetings ago, council approved to make the purchase. There was enough funds in the budget to make that purchase and open that purchase order. This is just replenishing the amount that the truck was. It was a little bit more expensive than we had
Right.
anticipated.
Okay.
So this is just replenishing the funds.
So you will not come back through, okay, thank you.
Williams?
So with the used truck or the old truck, what would you do with the old truck?
It is getting scrapped out.
Scrapped out?
Yeah, it'll be sold at auction. It'll no longer be in the fleet.
So sold at auction, not scrapped out?
Yeah.
So is the auction open to who?
They publicly notify, dealers, and I think the public can go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Roberto. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next item I have up is Wayne Road, for the Wayne Road Sidewalk Project from Wick to Van Born. Roberto and his team and Hennessy Engineering has worked hard to acquire the property needed to do these sidewalks in the road right away. There's a couple property holders that are holding out. We don't know why. We're trying to talk to them the best we can, but this is very time sensitive. If we don't acquire these right away soon, we won't be able to move this project forward this year. So that's why we're bringing this to council. So I concur with the recommendation of Roberto Scapitici, DPW Director and Legal Counsel, and respectfully request City Council adopt the attached resolution of necessity to proceed with the condemnation process to obtain easements on private property along the west side of Wayne Road from Smith to Van Born to complete the Wayne Road sidewalk project. And just a side note on that, the city has worked to purchase these properties, and they've done everything they can, work with these property owners to make sure this is a last-ditch effort to make sure we move forward with this project in the following year, so.
Through the chair.
Ms. Talley?
I'd like to make that motion and then discussion. To concur with administration and respectfully request City Council adopt the attached resolution of necessity to proceed with the condemnation process to obtain easements on private property along the west side of Wayne Road from Smith to Van Born to complete the Wayne Road sidewalk project.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Williams to concur with the administration and respectfully request City Council to adopt the attached resolution of the necessity to proceed with the condemnation process to obtain easement of private property along the west side of Wayne Road from Smith to Van Born to complete the Wayne Road sidewalk project. Discussion, Ms. Talley.
Yes, just to piggyback off the mayor, I know you guys have been diligently, Roberta, working to get the easements in place of the people that's out there and trying to contact the owners and alert them of what's going on. So thank you for your diligence, and we just have to do our part in this as well so that the process will keep moving along. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Williams?
Yes, and I would like to say too, thank you, Mayor, for working on it. This is one of my dreams, to have sidewalks from Van Born leading to the city for the north end of our city, but at the same time, to make sure we don't run into any lack of funding, I would ask our Economic Development Director, Public Safety, got a lot of titles, to make sure that you stay in touch with our commissioner, our county exec, state rep, and our state senators. There's money there. They're spending money in every city. Fixing roads, there's nothing even wrong with them. They need to spend money in our city to fix our roads, to put sidewalks here, and they can. So I would say before the next election, before they're gone, because you know when the election time comes, they're not paying attention to trying to get you any money. So please stay in touch with them and stay on top of them to make sure that we get the necessary funding so when that project start, we can complete it, because it's a long time coming. Thank you.
Are there any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
The chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. That will conclude my report for this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Number 6 is the clerk's report. There are a couple action items under the clerk's report. Agenda item 6A is a request for council to approve the first reading and introduction to Chapter 22, Section 22.23, Reserve, amending Section 109.4 of the International Fire Code of the City of Romulus Code of Ordinance. This amendment will adopt enforcement of fire codes consistent with the Ordinance and Building Department.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth.
I'm going to move for the first reading and the introduction to the amendments to Chapter 22, Section 22.23, Sections 109.4 of the International Fire Codes of the City of Romulus ordinances.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley, for first reading and introduction of amendment to Chapter 22, Section 22-23, Section 109.4 of the International Fire Code of the Romulus Code of Ordinance. Any discussion?
Yeah, through the chair.
Yes, Ms. Talley?
Let's see the sheet here. Question, what are we amending? Because usually we have what we had prior so that we can compare what we're amending and what was there before.
My apologies, I'm sorry, Council, Mayor, my apologies, I did not have what was in there before. However, the intent of the language before was for any violations that were issued on the fire code, all they would have to do is pay a fine, and then we'd have to go out and inspect it again. This will change that process to be more consistent with the ordinance and with the building department, and we have the ability to sign it as a misdemeanor and make a trial.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Williams.
You're saying because, as Councilwoman Talley said, that the original one is not in here, so I'm not, so you're changing it to what?
You're changing it to read the way it reads right now, that follows the International Fire Code. Previously, it was an ordinance, which means that if we filed a violation of the fire code, All they would have to do is pay a fine. There's no true teeth behind the enforcement process, so this would become an issue going on and on and on and on and on. We never get resolution to it. This, we hope, will bring resolution.
So the fire code far as what, burning wood, burning,
International Fire Code addresses all life safety issues on businesses and properties to make sure that they are maintained in a safe and effective manner for all residents and for visitors to our city.
I just wanted to be clear on
Sorry.
what this was. Thank you.
Any other discussion for? Thank you. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. Agenda item 6B is requested that council approve the first reading and introduction to amend Chapter 22, adding Article 10, reporting, Section 22-262 of the City of Romulus Code of Ordinances. This amendment will allow electronic transmission of maintenance and inspection reports to the fire department.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion for first reading and introduction to amendments to Chapter 22 to add Article 10, Section 22-262 to the Romulus Code of Ordinances.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Roscoe. First reading and introduction to amendments, Chapter 22, to add Article 10, Section 22-262 to the Romulus Code of Ordinance. Any discussion?
Through the chair.
Ms. Tally?
Sorry, Chief. I'm just at a loss because I don't have anything to compare it to. So this is added to how do we do it right now? I mean, this is in addition, we're doing it electronically. How do we do it now? Or is it addition to what we're doing now?
So currently, anytime somebody does an inspection on a suppression system, alarm system, a lid system, they do the inspection, and then the inspection is left with the property owner. This will require them to digitally upload them, so we have access to them, to make sure that everybody's compliant. There's a lot of time, we try our best to make that in property every year. Unfortunately, because of the number of properties and the limited staff that we have, it's sometimes 2 to 3 years in between visits to properties. So this will create a online check-in system anytime they do an inspection on a suppression or alarm system, it will have to be submitted as a
So they can't submit in any other kind of way? It can't be a hard copy or anything like that? It has to go online?
Yes, it has to go online.
Is there a reason why they require it that way, just so for the access for it?
It's to fast track everything. Just to
Okay.
make sure that all the information is being accumulated and stored properly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. The last action item under the clerk's report is the study session request. Mayor Pro Tem John Barton is requesting a 45-minute study session for Monday, January 8th, 2024, at 6:30 p.m. for the purpose of discussing the procedure for filling a vacancy in council. The date and time are available for the request.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion for study session request for Monday, January 8th, 2024, at 6:30 p.m. for the purpose to discuss the procedure for filling a vacancy in council.
I second that motion.
Requested by Mayor Pro Tem John Barton.
I second that motion.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Tally, for a study session request for Monday, January 8th, at 6:30 p.m. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. There are no more action items under the clerk's report, but just as a reminder, in your packet, you have the 2024 meeting schedule for certain boards and commissions. As the boards and commissions approve their meeting calendar for 2024, we'll provide that to you. Before I close out the clerk's report, I just have one quick reminder for our residents. The clerk's office is accepting absentee ballot applications for the February 27th presidential primary. This application is very, very busy. Unfortunately, we were instructed by legal counsel of the Michigan Bureau of Elections that we have to have all of the election dates for the 2024 election season. So we're asking each and every voter to please read over the application carefully and fill out the areas that is marked in red. For this particular election, the February 27th election, it is required under Michigan law that voters who want to participate in this election have to indicate which political party ballot they want to vote on. So it's very important for you to check which party you would like to receive your ballot from. If you do not check that box, we'll be sending you out notices and trying to communicate to you so that we can know which ballot you would like to receive. Additionally, if you know that you will be away during any of the elections throughout this year, at the bottom of the application, which is labeled number 6, there's a section where you can put temporary addresses so that we'll be able to send you your ballot in a timely manner. If you have any questions, you can contact the clerk's office at 734-942-7540, or you can email us at elections@romulusgov.com. You can send in your applications via first-class mail. The postage is prepaid. You can drop it off at the clerk's office, or you can put it in our drop box, which is located in front of City Hall. And that will conclude the clerk's report.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
regarding the information you just provided, and it is a very busy form. I'm just saying, too, I agree, it's very busy. But I thought we were going to get to a process where we wouldn't even have to fill this out, that it would be mailed automatically for absentee ballots. Is that still something that's going to be in place, or has been tabled?
So currently, the applications were mailed to members who are a part of the permanent absentee application list. That list is going to phase out because the voters approved Proposition 22-2, which established a permanent ballot list. On the application, there is a box that states that you would like to receive a ballot for every future election. If you check that box, you will be added into a list in which every election you will not receive an application, you will automatically receive a ballot. So if you would like to be a part of this provision that was added into the Constitution, when you fill out your application, just check that box and you'll be added to the list. And every election, until you tell us not to, you will receive a ballot in the mail.
So that's already in place now?
That's currently in place now and on the
So,
application.
because I thought I did that, so, and I still got an application for a ballot, so I'm...
So certain communities who had an election in 2023, whether it's November or the August election, because this constitutional amendment was passed in 2022. We didn't have an election in 2023, except for a school election for Woodhaven Brownstown. So we didn't build this list yet.
Okay.
This is the first election where we are building this list.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Is there any more questions from council?
Any more questions? No. Thank you, Deputy Clerk.
Thank you, City Council. Number 7 is the Treasurer's report, and our City Treasurer has indicated she has no items on our report. Number 8 is public comment, and this is the portion of the agenda for members of the audience who would like to address City Council. The rules to address City Council can be found on the back of the meeting agenda. If you would like to address City Council, please raise your hand, and after being acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium and state your name. Please note, members of the public who submitted a public comment card will be called upon first. You will have 3 minutes to speak. Any additional time will be upon the consent of the chairperson. Mr. Chair, I have not received any requests to speak public comment cards.
Any comments from the audience? Okay, Mr. Wilson?
Good evening, council members, City of Romulus, residents in the back here, Mayor McCray, Deputy Clerk, and anyone else who I may have missed. For those of you who don't know me, I am Alan Wilson, a proud resident of the city of Romulus for the past 23+ years. However, before I go any further, I'd like to personally express to the family and loved ones of Councilwoman Eva Webb. She was a tireless stalwart for the city of Romulus for many, many years, and she was a friend. So I appreciate all of the kind words you all stated up here, because Eva Webb was definitely a jewel for our community. So but the work goes on, as we all know. We have to continue to do the work. So rest in holy and eternal bliss, Sister Webb, and thank you for all you've done to make Romulus a better place to live. And to you, Frank McCurdy, who was her son-in-law sitting back here to the left, I'll speak with him as well. And she spoke highly of her son-in-law, awesome young man, and a resident of Romulus for his entire life. To this end, I rise before you as a long-standing community activist who will always work to improve the standard of living of Romulus residents. I'm a father of 2 awesome daughters, one who attended Romulus High School, and a granddaughter who is currently enrolled in Romulus Middle School. I'm also a labor leader who presently is employed by the United Auto Workers Union, and my task is to negotiate better wages, better benefits, better conditions of employment for UAW workers, as well as members here in the community of Romulus, for which I ran for state representative last year, came up a little bit short, but equally important, I ran for Romulus City Council in 2021. My point is, I'm an activist. I believe in getting the job done, and I'm going to continue to work hard for the members in Romulus and for the members in our communities. So I stand before you as the decisive runner-up in 2021 for the office of City Council here in Romulus. And as we are aware, given the unfortunate passing of Sister Eva Webb, a vacancy has now occurred on our City Council. Again, I restate that I was the clear runner-up for the council seat because the citizens of Romulus exercised their collective rights and their democratic right to cast the ballot for the candidate of their choice. Obviously, the top 7 candidates who sit here, 6 of the 7 who sit before us, were elected. I finished 8th. Clearly, for the sake of democracy, the residents have spoken. And although Chapter 4, Section 4.5 of the city charter provides sitting council members before us with the task of filling any such vacancy by majority vote within 45 days, we must always fall on the side of democracy in order to respect the wishes of our city residents, our country, our state, and of course, citizens here in Romulus, Wayne County. To do otherwise would identify an abject failure of our leadership to abide by the wishes of the people. In closing, I ask you to do the right thing as you select the person to fill the vacancy on the City Council. My last point, and thank you for extending me a few seconds extra. On the City of Romulus website, I had a chance to look at it a couple of times. Something caught my attention. It's your own message to the residents of Romulus. You state as follows, council message. It's a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. It says, it is the single greatest honor and continuous goal for the Romulus City Council to fairly, openly, and actively represent the interests of the citizens of Romulus. This is a diverse community and one that is experiencing tremendous growth. While there are great opportunities, there are also great challenges. As your elected council officials, it is our duty to work with the mayor to meet these challenges head on and resolve them with, underscore, your valuable input. This in and of itself is a provision that states that the council will always defer to the voices of the Romulus residents. And I feel very, very strongly that you will do so. But again, at the end of the day, you're judged on your actions, not your words, on your deeds, not on your promises. So I close by saying, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for extending a few extra moments to me. And as I walk away, I'm reminded to tell you that I was a member of the Wayne County Board of Canvassers on November 17, 2020. There were 4 people in that room. And I'm sure you've seen it on the media. And I get a little passionate about it because I was there. I saw 876,000 votes are ready to be disenfranchised by 2 Republicans who sat across from myself as a Democratic canvasser and John McKinlock, who was vice chair of the board at that time. And we counted the ballots, we counted the votes, and we saw that there were 478 votes out of balance, but Donald Trump lost by 154,000 votes. Therefore, it was non-outcome determinative. So that was the beginning of former President Trump trying to compile lies so he could remain in office. So my point is, democracy is important. This is what we're all about. Please show the residents that that's who you are. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you. Ms. Williams?
And I'm not against our chairperson asking for the study session. Everyone in the audience is welcome back to be in that study session, because it's not a closed meeting, it's a study session open to the public. The reason I said what I said earlier is because that could have been me. And I look at the fact, and I've said it to several of our council members, when the people vote, and we hear it, we see it all in the newspaper, all of the news, when the people vote, we have to listen. It's not our decision. The same people voted for us, voted for those other candidates that also ran in that race. And we have to be very careful of making a decision based on how we feel and what we think. We have to do what's right. We are put here to do what's right. I wouldn't care if it was Santa Claus that was the next runner-up. It's not a position that I take on a person. It's the fairness. It's the fairness. This has never happened in Romulus ever before, where a sitting elected official passed away while in office. So whatever we do, we're setting precedent. And I suggested, and council need to consider it, to change the charter, because this shouldn't happen. It could be any of us moving forward, same thing happened. And we would have to go through this again. So let's be proactive, and even in the meeting, consider discussing getting something on the charter to change the process of filling a vacant seat. The people voted, as I said before. I believe that the person with the next highest vote should have that opportunity. It'll be up to this council, but I believe in fairness, regardless of who it may be. The people voted, and we cannot disregard the people's vote. Thank you, John.
Are there any other comments from the audience? Yes, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sharon Walker, and I would just like to say that I ran for council. I spent money that I didn't have, but I was really trying to get a seat on city council. I think it's only fair that a person that has run, and I saw Mr. Al, he has signs all over the city, and I'm talking about big signs. That lets him have skin in the game, so to speak. Rather than taking someone that has not participated and putting them ahead of someone that tried to come in the right way. It's expensive to run for any office. And I just hope that council does the right thing, because that's the proper thing to do. Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the audience? Yes.
Good evening, everyone, Council, Mayor. My condolences to the family of Ms. Ava. What I want to speak about today is...
What's your name?
I'm sorry, my name is Samantha Stewart. I'm Patty Stewart's daughter.
Okay.
I've been here since I grew up here. And I think that the issue of who comes in next in line should be our decision. It shouldn't be a council's decision. Because one thing, this is my first council meeting I've been to, and I've always wanted to be in politics, and this is, I don't know why this is my first time, but anyways, one thing I realized here today is that there was a lot of names on the list of people coming in that I didn't know. But I know the people who are running. I know that if you guys put them on the ballot, I can go and research who they are. And I can make that decision for myself, because these are the people who are going to make decisions for me, like you all have done today. Another issue I want to bring up is the fact that there are a lot of elderly in Romulus. And some of the things that were voted upon here today, I think are not in favor of them, because they do not have a lot of access to electronics. I know my mom, she's just getting into her phone still. And she still lives here. She pays her taxes here, which are going up, I heard. And she does not like that, so maybe someone can look into that. Yes. Oh, also, when the Pumpkin Festival comes around, we have our land which we use for parking. And it's very hard to get the parking permit. And you guys have made it hard for my mom, and I don't think that that's fair. Like I said, she's elderly. She can't get up here. So we gotta figure out a way that we can make things work for the elderly who still live here and still pay taxes here. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the audience?
I want to make this clear. It's not that we are taking the opportunity to make a decision. We are going based on the charter. Up under section 4.5, if you read it, it says that the council has that right. Now, what we can do is, as I said earlier, put it on the ballot for the residents to vote on how they want it done. But as of now, the only reason we will have that opportunity to make that decision is because that's what the charter says. I just wanted to make that clear to you. We wasn't just like overruling the residents.
Any other comments from the audience? Yes.
Honorable Mayor, council members, and all of this should be addressed. I am Mary Carter, and I am a lifetime resident of Romulus. I need some clarification. Am I understanding that there is someone that has enough residential votes to fill my sister's position? And are they being considered, or this meeting that the council is having? Is the council having this meeting just to solidify that this person will be coming, that the residents have voted in already?
or is there something else that's happening for this council meeting?
This meeting will be to get the procedures of how we're going to fill the position. The procedure, yeah. How we going to go about filling Ms. Webb's position.
So there is a consideration that it wouldn't be filled by the person that the residents have already said they would like to have that position?
That's why we're having a study session. So we can have opinions, everybody can express their opinion and what we going to do about this situation. That's the purpose of the study session. That way, the people on council, like they said, it's a council decision because it's in the charter. Therefore, the study session, we hear the council people give their opinion of what should be done.
So in the study session, while the council is giving their opinions, will the residents have an opportunity
Sure.
to hear tonight?
Sure, sure.
Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem, you're welcome. Any other discussion from the audience? If there's no other discussion from the audience, Deputy Clerk, we'll close that part out.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Number 9 is unfinished business. Number 10 is new business. Number 11 is warrant for approval is warrant 23-24.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion, we pay warrant 23-24 in the following amounts. General Fund, $127,772.09. Major Street Fund, $3,223.99. Local Street Fund, $623.50. Public Safety Fund, $40,163.16. Cable TV, $338.75. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $354.52. Oakwood SAD, $83.13. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $110,144.52. Michigan Indigent Defense Fund, $2,490. 911 Service Fund, $748.58. NARC forfeiture on the state, $432.93. Library Fund, $6,849.13. DDA, $3,008.35. Tifa District 2, $195,514.31. Water and Sewer Fund, $227,580.86. Motor Vehicle, $22,264.73. Technology Services, $229.99. Retirees Insurance Benefits, $5,765.59. Revolving Fund, $6,062.50. Current tax, $4,677.17. Totaling all funds, $758,327.80.
I second that motion.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, to pay warrant number 23-24 for $758,327.80. Any discussion?
Yes. I have a question to the mayor, through the chair to the mayor. The primary supply for City Hall, is that all city buildings for the, it's not even saying if it's, I'm sure it's probably the gas bill because the electric bill is beneath that. The $10,984.65, is that all city buildings or is that just City Hall?
I'm sorry, what check number are we talking about?
It's on that last page, I would say page 95 of the warrant.
Yeah, I concur. I'd say it'd be our utility
That's
bill.
all the buildings?
Yeah.
Police department, fire, every,
Is that police and fire as well? It's broken down on the last page right there. If you flip it over, at the back of the warrant, City Hall, Court Building, Library, 34th District Court, and primary supply.
right, my question was, in the first line, it says primary supply, city, and then it's kind of cut off, just has an H. Is that all of city property? That's what was my concern.
I'll have to get confirmation on that for you.
Okay.
Any other discussion? If there is no other discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you, City Council. Number 12 is communication.
Yeah, through the chair.
Ms. Talley?
Just for a few moments. We didn't have a quorum at the last meeting, so wasn't able to just recognize some events we had in our city. We had our annual Reefs Across America, and just wanted to shout out to the mayor and his team for organizing that. It was a great event. It seems to be growing every year. So thank you for everybody for your participation and coming out and helping with the reefs across our cemetery. We also had our annual chamber event. That went very well. Thank you for Shona and the chamber members who put on that event. Just a couple of great events, annual events that we had in our city. And then I just want to close here, hoping everybody started out their new year very well. Everybody's giving their comments on Eva and her passing. I would like to say what I remember about Eva Webb is that she was a woman of God. She was a strong woman of God, and she knew that Bible, and she knew Scripture. So in honor of Eva Webb, the scene, I would like to read this prayer that I sent out to a lot of people I love and care about on New Year's Day. So I want to do it today in honor of Eva, myself as a woman of God also. May the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace as you go into 2024. In the matchless name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, amen. And God bless you all.
Thank you all. Ms. Talley?
It's always so good to, while you're on the earth, show your love, respect each other, love each other. It's so sad that sometimes people leave here not knowing how much they were loved. So I would say moving into 2024, let's show more love, more respect. January the 9th, we'll be back at the high school with Forgotten Hearts. Thank you.
Mayor? Any other? Just say, thing about Miss Webb, she was a beautiful person. She knew the family a long time and got along with everybody. She would let you know her opinion, though. She would let you know when she disagreed with something. So that's a good thing with Miss Webb. So just keep everybody praying. And Ms. Talley, thank you for your prayers for everyone.
Amen.
And God bless everyone. I hope they have a really nice New Year and be blessed and stay safe and healthy, because we never know what's going to go on in our future. Thank you.
Are there any more communications from council? Number 13 is adjournment, and the time is 8:39.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
I'm sure Ms. Williams was Chair votes yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.